following specific requests under the Freedom of Information Act, the British Ministry of Defence have finally supplied the family with evidence which was not disclosed to them nor to the coroner at the original inquest nearly half a century ago. This new evidence includes a secret briefing to Lieutenant General Sir Frank King, who was the General Officer commanding, the man in charge of the British Army in Northern Ireland at this time. Now, all of this new evidence proves beyond any doubt that the RUC did not shoot Michael accidentally with a single shot, but deliberately targeted and shot at him 3 times, fatally wounding him with the 3rd shot. Now, what the archival evidence specifically says is that it's from a Director of Operations brief which was put in front of the General Officer commanding the following day after Michael had been shot. He was shot dead on the 17th of May 1973. So the following morning, Lieutenant General Sir Frank King was given this briefing. And this briefing said a young Catholic man from County Donegal was killed near Ballig. He was recognised by the RUC, was challenged and failed to halt. As he drove off, the RUC fired 2 shots at his car, and in the subsequent chase, the man appeared to draw his weapon, so the RUC fired again and fatally wounded him. Now, we know, of course, that this was a lie. Michael was an unarmed civilian, and then the RUC tried to cover up and told the family and told the coroner and told the Irish government that Michael was shot accidentally with a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, and that the RUC didn't fire deliberately at him.
This fresh evidence is undoubtedly hugely significant, Ciarán, isn't it?
Yes, it now feeds into, the family solicitor, Adrian O'Kane, of Fife Solicitors and Co. said that, he was obviously very impressed with the level of evidence because he said himself that the dignified Leonard family have raised the injustice of Michael's killing at every level. And that includes knocking the doors of Irish government officials, including in Taoiseach recently, a few months ago. Now, the decision to rule upon a fresh inquest rests now with the Attorney General in the north of Ireland. And in view of the legacy bill, which is viewed by the solicitors as a guillotine, Adrian O'Kane says that a decision is needed now. Now, the grounds to order a fresh inquest are most compelling as far as the lawyers are concerned and in line with other recent directions from the Attorney General that have been passed in recent weeks.
Presumably, the Irish government and the Attorney General have this fresh evidence and these new documents that you have uncovered, Ciarán.
Well, you see, because Britain is trying to rush through this pernicious legacy bill, this would stop all families, such as Michael Leonard's, from equal access to due process of the law. And that means all legacy cases, whether they are going through to the Attorney General and a new inquest, or whether they're sitting with the Office of the Police Ombudsman, as Michael's case still stands at the minute, or whether it's even been sent to the Public Prosecution Service, will all be denied straight away, because Britain, as we all know, is trying to draw a line in the sand. Britain is trying to bury its war crimes in Ireland and protect its killers. So the killers in uniform of Michael Leonard would be protected forevermore, and they would escape justice.
I know we have spoken before, Ciarán, and you've said that you and the Leonard family remain hopeful for a fresh inquest. What are your feelings on that now, based on this fresh evidence and based on that clock ticking all the time as it relates to that legacy bill?
Well, it really is a matter for the lawyers, but it seems that we have a very short window of time and opportunity to engage yet again with the Attorney General and seek a new inquest. The feeling that the families have at the minute, after advice with the lawyer, is that the legacy bill could be coming in any time in September. So the clock is ticking now. The solicitor feels as if this legacy bill is like a guillotine a sword of Damocles is hanging over the head of not only Michael Leonard's family, but hundreds of families across Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland who are hoping for a modicum of truth and justice after many decades.
And how are the Leonard family feeling at this point, Ciarán, after over 50 years of tirelessly trying to campaign for a fresh inquest? And perhaps does this fresh evidence give them some solace at the very least?
Well, every family member would read this evidence differently. They would have their own thoughts and their own feelings. Some would be continually damaged by the thoughts of what happened to Michael. But I can tell from dealing with the Leonard family, they're a wonderful family. They're very dignified, but they're resolute and they're very strong, and they're quite positive as far as their campaign is concerned. Even though we have this guillotine, this legacy bill that is hanging over their heads and waiting at any opportunity to shut down families' access to justice.
And all that the Leonard family, and as you've mentioned, hundreds and countless of other families, all they want is that closure, isn't it?
Well, some of the families would feel that, they're not ever going to get full closure, nor will they ever get full disclosure from the British authorities and the British Armed Forces. This case, even though we have had new evidence provided to us, the Freedom of Information request that I issued to the Ministry of Defence actually came back and went through a public interest test, and the Ministry of Defence has actually admitted that it's withholding further evidence in Michael's murder. So I've had to go back to them and ask for an internal review, and I've forewarned them that not only is Michael's family waiting for that modicum of truth and justice after 50 years, but they also have the Irish government who have been asking questions of their British counterparts where this case sits at the moment.
So is it a case now that the Irish government really do need to put the pressure on in the coming weeks?
Well, it's our understanding that Taoiseach has raised it with his counterpart, and that we will be going back in the coming hours and days and in re-engaging with the Department of Foreign Affairs to ensure that Micheál Martin and his office are re-engaging with their British counterparts and pushing this through. I'm certain, after having met with the DFA and the team, that they are aware that there is a certain time constraint on this, and this legacy bill will try to stop and impede families like Michael's from getting even a modicum of truth and justice, so that the DFA and Taoiseach and his team do know that they need to act quickly here.